So I've been in contact with a company that needs some freelance design work done. They are a sports company. It is a soccer-based company, or football, or whatever you call it. So they have reached out and asked me to do a few example projects to send them so that they can decide if I might be the right fit for the job. Welcome back, y'all. We're looking professional today. We got the polo on. Pretty sure it's got some stains and stuff on it, and it's actually just an Adidas polo. But I had to go a little bit more professional than usual because I'm making graphics for an actual freelance gig, so I thought I'd go a little bit more try hard than usual. So I'm gonna dive right into the projects and the descriptions of kind of like what they sent me and how I went about doing them. So in this first one, what they have asked for was 2 quote graphics that are templated and can be used over and over again. To me, that means like fairly simple, straightforward, needs to have good typography and white space as well. And you know, that's not actually my strong suit, but I feel like I did pretty good with this graphic, and it is like very simple, which, you know, is hard for me to do sometimes. But for these 2, I had to go fairly simple. I just thought that looked the best. I thought that'd be the most professional, and they're templates anyway, so I'm not sure who would be using the PSDs. I would assume only me. I had to make sure they were simple enough that someone else could go in and, you know, type a quote in, plug a picture in, and that sort of thing. So what we have here is a picture on the right. They wanted me to use Messi, and so I found a random picture of Messi online, put it in there. Could be replaced with any player, obviously. Had the little quote over to the left and his name under that, and then just made the 2 quotation marks above and below. When doing quote graphics, I like to have, you know, 2 big, I like to make the quote symbols a part of the design and not necessarily a part of the quote, because I think that makes it a little more interesting and establishes that this is a quote graphic. You're looking at this to see what this person said. So it's fairly simple. I gave the blue texture gradient on the left side, and then put a little bit of grain on it, put those 2 quotes on there, gave it a inner shadow on both of them, put a gradient on both of those, and then just put an offset stroke quotation mark as well. Obviously you have the text, then put a white line in the middle. I think I added a drop shadow underneath that, and that was it. And so they wanted 2 of those, and so I have the first one basically how I want it. I wanted the second one to look somewhat similar, but not exactly the same. I kept the same color, I kept the same gradient, I kept the same grain. I don't have that on there yet. But I want it to look similar and like branded, but both be interesting and like unique in their own way. Again, they are templates, so like they're not supposed to be, you know, crazy, and like it's supposed to be plug and place, like, you know, you plug in the text, you plug in the picture. So they've got to stay fairly simple. So I did the same thing with the quotes here. I made them big. This time I just gave them a stroke and put them on the left and right side of the screen as just part of the design to kind of fill up some white space and stuff. And then added the text in. This quote is about 2 different guys. Obviously I'm not into soccer very much, so it's kind of hard for me to like really know what I'm doing with like which players and which teams, you know, but I know obviously Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo, those guys. So this quote involved 2 different players, and one was talking about an exchange between him and the other one. So I have a picture of both of them at the top, like they're interacting, and then the main guy who the quote was actually from in the bottom. And then I just added the text and edited the pictures. Obviously I edit every picture I throw in, even though when you grab from Google they're not necessarily the highest quality. I tried to find all the highest quality images I could. Ideally his hair wouldn't have been different colors in these, but I just decided to leave it as is. So the point of this playlist and these videos is if I can make these graphics good enough and do what they asked me to do, they're theoretically going to give me the freelance gig, which is usually how it works. Like in a lot of job interviews for regular jobs, freelance, people that want you to do work for them are either going to look for your work, which I have work and I've shown them my work, but sometimes they also want to see what you can do with their brand and with what they ask you to do. You have to be ready to do a few example projects and give them what they want and put your own spin on it, and hopefully they like it, and if they don't, so be it. So at the end of this playlist, we'll see if I can get the gig. Click right here for the next video.